If you want to fire Kevin, then you can. I can't defend. Get up out of here.
Why wasn't Stefanski able to get this? Even though, listen, Joe, I'm right there with you. You don't have the offensive line. You don't have the receivers. It's not the same. But they at least let him throw the ball deep.
One Brown legend is fed up with Kevin Stefanski antics and this horrible offense.
Cleveland is burning under the weight of its own expectations. The Browns were supposed to rise, but instead, they're collapsing from the inside out. 2 years without scoring more than 20 points in a game, a head coach out of answers, and a fan base that's losing patience by the second. Kevin Stefanski once looked like a savior. Now he's standing on the edge of disaster. Inside the locker room, chaos brews. The offense is dead, the leadership divided, and hope is slipping away. This isn't just another losing streak. This is the breaking point. And if the Browns fall to Miami, Jimmy Haslam's warning might turn into a pink slip.
Former Browns quarterback is opening up about the disaster that we have for the 2025 season.
Cleveland's fall didn't come overnight. It's been a slow decay, built on small failures that piled into collapse. Every game begins with belief and ends with frustration. The energy is gone. The execution is lifeless. The coach looks defeated. His game plan predictable and uninspired. Kevin Stefanski, once seen as the cool-headed architect of a rebuild, now looks like the man tearing it down. Players are flat, sidelines are silent, and fans are fed up. The Browns aren't just losing, they're unraveling. There's no leadership, no direction, no conviction. When a team stops fighting, it stops existing. The foundation has cracked, and Cleveland's so-called culture of toughness is starting to look like nothing more than an illusion.
Stefanski, look like the numbers ain't lie for you either. Roll it.
I'm about to blow your mind with this fact that I'm about to tell you. Because all this year we've heard, well, the Browns haven't scored over 20 points since last year. Did you know that the last time that they scored 20 was the Denver Broncos game? How about the Pittsburgh Steelers game? Well, maybe you're thinking...
The scoreboard doesn't lie, and right now, it's telling a story of failure. Nearly 2 full years without scoring more than 20 points. That's not just bad, it's historically bad. The Browns' offense has become a joke in the NFL, safe, predictable, and painfully slow. Defenses know exactly what's coming. No creativity, no deep shots, no identity. It's a system built to fail, and everyone can see it. The numbers scream regression. Red zone failures, 3-and-outs, lifeless possessions. Stefanski was hired as an offensive mind, but the stats prove he's out of ideas. The Browns don't just have a scoring problem. They have a belief problem. When the numbers expose your weakness this clearly, it's not analytics anymore. It's evidence.
Goes on to say Browns legend wasn't shy about putting Kevin Stefanski on blast after the Steelers loss.
When Hanford Dixon, a man who built the Browns' reputation for toughness, speaks, people listen. And what he said after the Steelers game hit like thunder. He called out the offense as broken, the play calling as clueless, and the coach as disconnected. Dixon said, 12 touches for your best back? That's insane. That wasn't just analysis, it was heartbreak. For a legend like Dixon to publicly call out the head coach shows how deep the rot has gone. The greats see it. The fans feel it. Everyone knows the problem, except the man running the show. When former players start losing faith, the organization's soul starts to fade. Hanford's warning wasn't just criticism, it was prophecy.
But if they go 1-3 against these other bottom feeders, it is a hard, cold wrap.
Yes.
They've all got to go, and you're basically tearing it down, not to the studs, because we've done that.
Yeah.
We're tearing it down to the foundation. It's over. It's gone. There's nothing worth saving. Set it on fire and move on.
Behind the scenes, there's a quiet war, one between Kevin Stefanski and GM Andrew Berry. The two men who were supposed to rebuild Cleveland now stand on opposite sides of a crumbling franchise. Berry wants renewal, young players, bold direction, accountability. Stefanski wants control, stability, and his comfort zone. That divide has become poisonous. Communication has broken down. Trust is gone. And when leadership starts fighting itself, the team beneath it collapses. Players sense the divide. Fans feel the chaos. And ownership hears the noise. Jimmy Haslam's patience is thinning fast. If Cleveland loses to Miami, it won't just be a bad week. It'll be a signal that the war at the top has reached its breaking point.
Why wasn't Stefanski able to get this? Even though, listen, Joe, I'm right there with you. You don't have the offensive line, you don't have the receivers. It's not the same, but they at least let him throw the ball deep.
The Joe Flacco situation exposed everything wrong with Kevin Stefanski's leadership. When Flacco came in and the offense suddenly started moving, everyone asked the same question. Where was this before? Why did it take a backup quarterback to show what the system could actually do? The answer was simple. Stefanski's play calling had choked the creativity out of his team. Andrew Berry saw it too. He didn't just move Flacco. He removed Stefanski's safety net. It was a power move, one that said, I don't trust you anymore. And when your general manager stops trusting your decisions, your days are numbered. Flacco didn't just complete passes. He exposed a coach who had already lost his grip.
Kevin Stefanski has found himself in the hot seat yet again, dog. This time it's with all-pro superstar defensive lineman Myles Garrett.
The Cleveland fan base has always been the most loyal in football. They've stood by this team through decades of heartbreak. But this feels different. Fans aren't angry because they're losing. They're angry because they see no plan. The offense looks lifeless, the defense frustrated, and the sidelines defeated. The chants in the stands have shifted from cheers to demands. Twitter is filled with one message: fire Stefanski. The people who kept this franchise alive through years of pain are now turning their backs. And when a city as loyal as Cleveland stops defending you, you've lost more than games. You've lost your foundation. For the first time, fans aren't asking for hope. They're asking for justice.
This is not working for me. Something gonna have to change. Bro, look at him.
In the middle of the storm, a new name keeps echoing through Cleveland: Shador Sanders. Young, fearless, hungry. Everything this offense isn't. Fans see him as the spark that could reignite a dead team. They're tired of watching predictable play calling. They want something electric, a leader who'll take risks, who'll play with heart. If Dylan Gabriel struggles against Miami, the crowd will be chanting for Shador by halftime. Because at this point, it's not just about potential, it's about survival. Cleveland needs a reason to believe again, and Sanders might be it. Sometimes change doesn't come from the top. Sometimes it starts with a kid stepping onto the field and reminding everyone what passion looks like.
Well, word on the street is that Kevin Stefanski has already lost the locker room, bro. There's no secret about that. I reported on that. I think that was week 3, where reports is coming out about him losing the locker room. We have another player speaking up and speaking out about this Browns offense situation.
Inside the Browns locker room, there's silence, the kind that speaks louder than words. Players aren't celebrating. They're tolerating. Conversations sound forced. Energy feels fake, and eyes avoid the cameras. This is what it looks like when a coach loses his team. No emotion, no unity, just survival. Once players stop believing in the message dies, and Stefanski's message is already gone. Even veterans like Myles Garrett are visibly frustrated. The disconnect between the staff and the players has become undeniable. A team divided cannot win. The Browns don't need another playbook. They need leadership. But in that locker room, leadership is the one thing that no one seems to believe in anymore.
If the Browns are going to go 5-12, you got to beat Miami.
Have to.
I mean, you have 4 games on the schedule. To me, if they lose the game to the Dolphins, especially as you say, if they get blown out, that's an indicator that this is a 2-3 win team at best.
Yeah,
and that's not going to cut it.
Doesn't it?
Every tick of the clock is another second closer to the end of the Stefanski era. The Dolphins game isn't just another matchup. It's the line in the sand. Lose this one, and it's over. Haslam's warning isn't a rumor. It's a reality. If the Browns collapse against Miami, it proves what everyone's been whispering. Stefanski can't lead this team anymore. No motivation. No adaptability. No results. A loss won't just hurt playoff hopes. It'll erase what little credibility remains. Cleveland's front office won't tolerate embarrassment anymore. The writing's on the wall, and the ink is drying fast. One more failure, and Stefanski's chapter in Cleveland will end with a single word: fired.
This is about smoke, all smoke. They should be gone early. None of this prognosticating, none of this, well, we might be, if you want to fire Kevin, then you can. I can't defend. Get up out of here. He's, Yoshi Doshi, you gave O'Shea too much time. You're right. Moving right along.
Cleveland stands at the edge of something huge, not just a firing, but a transformation. The storm that's tearing this team apart might be the same storm that rebuilds it. Jimmy Haslam has a choice: protect a broken system or clear the board and start over. The fans are ready for rebirth. The city is hungry for leadership. And the players? They're desperate for direction. The loss to Miami could be the moment everything changes. The end of Kevin Stefanski's era and the start of something new. The Browns don't fear fire anymore. They need it, because sometimes to rebuild something strong, you have to burn down what's weak. Cleveland's storm isn't destruction, it's awakening.